Hi all, Keith Murray here, checking out Duskpunk. This is a recent release. I'm going to take a look-see around here. Difficulty standard, audio. I'll just lower that a little bit, even though I like what I'm hearing so far. Text mode, fade in. I like instant text, honestly. And yeah, looks like everything is pretty much good. So, Duskpunk is a game that has been compared to Citizen Sleeper, which is one of my all-time favorite games. And if you haven't heard of Citizen Sleeper, some other games that are a little bit in that similar vein are like Disco Elysium. Tales Noir is another example that was once called Backbone. So we're gonna begin new game. Select a save slot. Who were you, soldier? A veteran, a career soldier from an army family. Nothing could have prepared you for the war to end the world, though. Criminal. You loved evading the law until it caught up with you. This war has been worse than 1,000 street battles. Engineer. The Empire saw your fast hands and faster brain and sent you to the front to maintain killing machines. Writer. A sensitive soul. You know how to talk to people, how to make an argument, how to sense the unseen. So, I don't know. I don't know what to pick. I kind of want to pick engineer. But I'm going to go with writer. There we go. Kita Mari. There we go. Starting difficulty, standard or easy. So, all dice rolls will be slightly easier. For those less interested in resource management and more interested in the story, the difficulty can be changed in the game settings at any time, or standard, the intended game difficulty. Life in the city will be challenging, but you will have everything you need if you're careful. Continue. And play on standard as a writer. There we go. Tyrants appear all-powerful. This illusion is broken only at the moment of their downfall. I cannot know when dusk will set on this rotten empire. I only know that no matter how long the day, dusk will always come. Laris Markov, The Nature of the State. The war chewed you up. This city tried to swallow you whole, but there's life in you yet. You shake yourself awake. You know, because I know I'm taking up huge amounts of the screen, I'm going to be Mini Kita today. Mini Kita, yeah. There we go. Better. Okay. Crawl to safety. Your ankle throbs. You need to get away from here. And your check would be 5. Let's see. Each action tests a skill. This action tests endure. Every action has 3 possible outcomes. Success, you do what you set out to do. Mixed, you partially succeed or avoid total failure. Failure, you don't achieve your goal. Crawl to safety by clicking the Act button. This will advance time. Yay, it was successful. You drag yourself up to the bare shoreline. Digging claw marks in the mud, you drag yourself forward. You can't recall how you got here. You remember all too well. You'd rather forget. 1, you can't recall how you got here. You struggle to remember. The front, the trenches. A maze of mud and bodies, both living and dead. Machine guns plucking lives like flowers. It's all such a blur. The people you've seen die. You remember each death with perfect clarity. They mingle together in your mind. You remember each death with perfect clarity. Each moment of horror as a door closes on a squandered life. Where is this place? This river, this city, are unfamiliar to you. You shake yourself awake. How long have you been lying here? Feel everything hurts. Your ankle throbs, your muscles are straining. Look around. You spot a piece of driftwood, gnarled and knotted. Grab the driftwood. You grab the driftwood and put your weight on it. A twisted crutch for a broken woman. Step into the city. As the sun rises, you hobble away from the river. You realize that these streets, unfamiliar in the dark, are known to you, but you've not lived here in years. You're in Dredgeport. Check your pockets. You go through your pockets, slim pickings. Gained 3 groat. You possess 3 currency of the humblest sort. How will you live? You consider a new aim to survive. And assuming you do, what's your next step? Stop the war that almost took your life. Find friends and allies. Join the revolutionaries to topple the regime. Whatever is necessary to never be this helpless again. Whatever is necessary to never be this helpless again. You will join any cause. Serve any master if it brings power and safety. Never again. You consider a new aim to gain power. You've returned to Dredgeport. Gods help you. Pan the map with the WASD, the arrow keys, or by left-clicking and dragging. Zoom with the mouse wheel or the plus and minus keys and explore the city. I like the art style. So, Poor Quarter, Crucible Docks, Old Town. As you explore more of Dredgeport, you will discover goals you might wish to pursue. These are called aims. Click here to see a list of all unfinished aims. Gain power and survive. Track and aim now. Survive. The war broke you. There are scars, both physical and mental. We'll track this. Find a place to eat. That is our goal. So, right over here at the Poor Quarter, explore the slums and crannies. Into it. Check. We can act +2. Success. You find a maze of alleyways, a honeycomb of bustle. Okay. There ought be other places around here, I would think. Where... Oh yeah, slums. Here we go. Beware. Some actions have negative consequences for failure. If a role is too difficult, you can spend some time preparing. This costs time but makes the action easier the next time you attempt it. Prepare this action now. Con do-gooders. Each day, middle-class do-gooders flood the district with religious pamphlets encouraging people to mend their ways. They are susceptible to sob stories. Prepare. Thanks to your preparations, this action will be easier the next time you try it. Act. Success. My dear, of course I'll help with your father's funeral costs. After your recent sickness, I'm sure you're exhausted. What's funny is this character has probably been through so much that, I mean, they would have an actual make you cry story, but I mean, why would they want to tell it, right? It's too private. It's too something. Beg on street corners. You're desperate? Surely the lady will move somebody's heart to pay for her bread. I can prepare for this one. If you prepare now, time will advance and this action will be unavailable until tomorrow. Do you want to prepare? Yes. Night has fallen. Different actions are now available. You can preview which actions are available during day or night with these tabs. So, return to the main map. You can do this by clicking this button, right-clicking the mouse, zooming out with the keyboard and mouse. You stumble from an alleyway and bump into a young beggar. Excuse me, mate. There's a tinkle at your feet as they round the corner. Check your purse. You hastily check yourself and realize your purse is open. You lost 3. We have 4 now. Confront the beggar. The beggar is disappearing round a corner. You hobble forward. I think you have something of mine. Oh, what's that? Please. You reach out your hand. I need those groats. Me too, soldier. They shrug. They were in your pocket. Now they're in mine. Everyone in this place could use them. Look, I'm down on my luck. Could use your help. Oh, Father. They roll their eyes. Father? The Father is one of the 5 gods, just but stern. How about I teach you how to pick the odd pocket and I take these groats as payment? That seems fair. The beggar shows you how to walk with your shoulders forward, the better to barge into people. Distraction. They feel the knock, not your hand, but you've got to be quick. After a few more tries, you think you've mastered the basics. Look at you, a natural. Well, I must be off, soldier. Later. You head into the night. If the dialogue text is too fast or too slow, this can be adjusted in the settings. Find a place to eat. This is still our goal. The slums, the Poor Quarter. We can come back over here. Explore the squares. What happens if I just act on it now? Success! You find a maze of alleyways, a honeycomb of bustle. You have advanced this clock. Clocks represent your progress toward a goal, or how close you are to something bad happening. This clock represents your progress towards that district. So there's a tavern. We could go there now. Order food. It costs 7. I have 4. Yeah. If I happened to go here earlier, before the money was stolen, I would be able to eat at the tavern, but sadly. Okay, well, at least we know that we have the tavern open now. I guess I will act again. Hey, success again. The market is a new area discovered. Explore the market. I can go ahead and act. You wander the market, noting the best stalls. Bet on prize fights? Huh. Noting the best stalls. Bet on prize fights. We'll act. Mixed outcome. Your bets are hit and miss. You end the night up by a little. Take 1 stress and reroll this action. You must accept the second outcome. Continue. Okay, so we have 6. We still don't have enough. Sleep to recover your actions. Sleeping ends the current day. Find a place to sleep. The alleyway. So, gonna head to the alleyway. Wait, that's not it. To the alleyway, right here. Curl up in an alleyway like these other wretches. Nightmare, so you barely get a wink of sleep. When you close your eyes, you see the faces of your dead comrades. You wake. As you rub the sleep from your eyes, your stomach rumbles. Your energy bar drops each morning. If you lose energy but have none left, you take health damage instead. It's important to keep yourself fed to stay healthy. You sleep terribly, haunted by phantoms. You toss fitfully, your dreams restless. The trenches. You see a flag fluttering. Like a dying bird. And a voice. Toss her in with the others. She's as good as dead. Still alive. Himph, not for much longer. You are passed through 100 hands to a black steel funeral barge. Suddenly, you start awake. The smell hits you like a mouthful of dirt. The air is rotting. Claw forward with your arms. You claw forwards desperately, cold skin against your cheek, rough fabric, buckles and cheap metals. Kick with your legs. You kick behind you and your ankle bursts with pain. Oh, that's... Above, below, around you are corpses packed tight like processed meat. Claw forward with your arms. You wrench yourself forward, digging through the surface. You burst out into the moonlight. Breathe. You gasp, taking deep lungfuls of air. You're on the deck of a barge? Hulks that haul the war dead back to the capital. So you did end up on one, just as you feared, but alive. The plasm yards loom ahead. A chute stretches ahead of you. Look down the chute. Look around for mechanism. Looked around for mechanism. You glance around for some mechanism to tamper with. Mounted on the ship's hull is a cluster of gears and wiring. Bodies slip past you. Jam something into the mechanism. You glance around. What do you even have in a hand? Snatch up a bone. You wrench a half-exposed bone free and jam it into the gears. The bone splinters, the gears grind on. Run back up the chute away from the plasm tower. You sprint backwards, dodging the corpses tumbling the other way. Your boots slip, you fall and bang your chin. You hurtle toward the plasm vat. Grab something. You scrabble desperately and slip sideways. You feel your body leave the chute. For 2 sickening seconds you are airborne. Below you is a black river. You hit the water and start awake. You bolt upright. Breathe. Your chest heaves. You sound like a sawmill. Your breathing slows. It was a memory. You realize, of a living hell. This is how you came to Dredgeport, taken for dead, loaded on a corpse barge and almost rendered into plasm. Wow. It's the poorhouse? Off the main road you spot a grand house. Look closer. The stonework is poorly maintained, and the roof is missing a number of tiles. There's a sign beside the door. Highdale Poorhouse within the Ladies' Embrace. You've heard of these places. They take in those who've lost everything and feed and clothe them. Peek into the windows. Through the grime, you see rows of rough wooden tables. The inmates sit in ragged clothing, sewing simple clothing. Peek into the next window. The dining room is cramped. The soup is gray and lumpy. You tear your gaze away. Peek around the corner. The yard is empty, but for a horse and a cart. A door bangs open. 2 orderlies drag a person from the house and toss them onto the cart. They bind them tightly with ropes. You realize the person is dead. The cart drives off towards the plasm yards. This is not a place of kindness. It's a place to store raw human material until they are ready to be harvested. Walking away, you feel a chill. That was wonderful. Oh, wow. Yeah, this is a dark story. I'm looking forward to getting to know any characters that may appear. So, if you want the best prices, you better... Okay. I don't know. I feel like we need to gamble. We probably need to gamble. Work harder. Find a solace den. The surest way to lower stress is the drug solace. Someone must know where to find some. Okay, not that one. Slums. Con do-gooders. Act. Beg on street corners. I'm gonna beg on street. A few passers-by toss you odd coin. A few even make eye contact. Okay. So, it looks like you are so hungry that it will soon affect your health. Find a tavern and buy some food or your body will begin to fail. So, I have enough now. I have 8, so I'm going to head to the tavern. Order food. Success. Passable and nourishing. Okay. So. Yeah. Gosh, now we're broke again. Can head to the market. out. Prepare, and then act. You wander the market, noting the best stalls. Eavesdrop. Chattering locals wend from stall to stall, gasping as they go. In this hushed dance, they might let something slip. You could buy tools, sell ambergris. It's in high demand as a perfume and medicine. Perhaps the scent hawkers would be interested. Or sell antiquities. You won't get antique shop prices, but a piece of this find is bound to make you serious money. Let's go ahead and eavesdrop. We can prepare. Yes. Night has fallen. New actions are available. Okay. We don't have any real money. What kind of stuff can we do at night? Check out the slums. Pickpockets. I'll go ahead and act. Ah! No! Failure! Health is down 1. You bump into a sailor and make off with his purse. The sailor follows soon after, as does a matter-of-fact beating. Grr. Take 1 stress and redo. Mixed outcome. Your marks are too sharp tonight. Every eye is a searchlight. You snatch only a few coins, and those barely. I might prepare for this one and then act again. Mixed outcome. Too sharp tonight. Continue. So we have 5. Hopefully there is another way to make something. Order food. That costs 7. Market. Could act. No! Push yourself. Mixed outcome. Okay, so we officially have 7. We have enough sleep to recover actions. Okay. Alleyway? Sleep. I'm gonna sleep in the alleyway again. Nightmare. So, look at how high my bar is. You awake. As you rub the sleep from your eyes, your stomach rumbles. Your energy bar drops each morning. If you lose energy, you have none left. You take health damage instead. It's important to keep yourself fed to stay healthy. You shudder. What an awful night. Get up. When you try to rise, your ankle gives way. You stifle a sob. Just a sec. I'm looking at this. Health and energy can be healed in the drug den. And regular fuel energy drops by 3 with each passing day. So we need to eat again. When you try to rise, your ankle gives way. You stifle a sob. You hear footsteps coming down the street and a steady clanking sound. Raise yourself on your walking stick. Shaking, you haul yourself to standing. A robed figure stops and looks at you. He wears the robes of a watcher, a priest of the lady. He sighs. A watcher, a follower of the lady, holy men or religious healers. Lady. The lady is one of the 5 gods, mistress of mercy and compassion. Soldier. Your balance whirls, you fall to the cobbles. He bends down. Poor helpless gobshite. Let's get you warmed up. Pass out. You black out. Wake. Endure. You force yourself awake. Act. Mixed outcome. You feel exhausted. How long have you been asleep? Continue. You feel sheets. A rough blanket. You feel like a half-drowned rat. You feel like you've been given a second chance. You lie there at peace. You just lie there at peace. For a minute or 2 anyway. You become aware of an ache in your right foot. Look down. Your right leg ends in a tight bandage around the ankle joint. Your foot is gone. Your gaze rises to the figure by your bedside. Back in the land of the living. His accent lilts like music. My foot. It comes out as a terrible question. I'm sorry, truly, there wasn't much left. The shelter master and I, we argued. About my foot? About what? And my foot? About what? Whether you'd live. I called the local sawbones. He's unprofessional, too fond of his solace. A drug that soothes the mind and dulls the senses. But time was against you. Your ankle tingles. You have questions? How long was I asleep? A few hours after the operation, I had the day guard look in on you. Truly sorry. Who are you? Oh, just a loyal servant of Our Lady, and a faithful citizen of the Little Father. A term of affection for the Emperor, who is seen as the Father's deputy on Earth. Anything else? Where am I? The slums of Dredgeport, soldier. Right now, you're in the sanctuary, a shelter for those with nowhere else to go. You owe me a favor. But where's my manners? He clasps your hand. I'm Brother Rejek, or Watcher. Brother Rejek. What did I say? I don't know what I said. As you shake his hand, his rain chalice tinkles, a broad silver bowl used by priests to collect rainwater for religious rituals. So I'm curious about my new foundling. I don't remember much about my last battle. I was a soldier. I was knocked down and taken for dead. I thought as much from the uniform. He sighs and smiles, gazing vaguely upwards. Ah, I hear the war is terrible, but still. To fight the forces of Arius, Saram's traditional enemy going back centuries, Saram's foe in the Great War, defy their heathen god, their false creed? Glorious. Memories tease you, the war in the trenches and the whine of a grunt harvester, a mechanical nightmare from the front, its wheels and legs pinioning like a mechanical marionette. It's not glorious, it's a slaughterhouse. The lady teaches us things are not always what they seem. Trust me, I was there was no glory. He shrugs. I'll pray on it, madam. Be that as it may, they must have found you unconscious and loaded you into a lick barge. You were lucky. Great ships that deliver corpses from the war to the capital to be rendered into plasm. Refuse to remember. Remember the plasm yards. Refuse to remember. You shudder. The priest takes your hand. You're safe now. What if they realize I'm not dead? I know nothing about this city. Don't touch me. I know nothing about this city. I've not lived here for years. First things first. You're not going anywhere until you've got some strength. All right, I'll rest. Have faith, foundling. It's the best medicine there is. Continue. Regain your strength. Your body is weak. It needs to rest. Prepare and act. Success. Red check bandages your wounds and bathes your skin. So my health and clock tick getting stronger. I'll act. Mixed outcome. You rest. At least it's quiet here and you seem to be safe. Continue. Okay, so this is going good. After a few hours rest, you feel better. New actions are available. Night has fallen. Red check bustles in with a small sack. So how's the patient? Hide how terrible you feel. Like I could eat my weight in rations? For a moment, Red check frowns, like he can see the mask you're putting up. Then he rallies. Huh, that's a bit beyond our means. He hefts the sack onto the bed. Scraps and leftovers from my flock. Do you feel up to helping me cook? These hands ain't what they used to be. Of course. Make soup. Prepare and act. Mixed outcome. In your weakened state, you bungle the cooking. The stew is passable. Continue. Look at that. That's good. Somebody is coming. Ooh. What is happening? The sanctuary. Somebody is coming? You can't believe your second chance at life. As you pass through doorways or under bridges, you find yourself glancing over your shoulder, waiting for the axe to fall. So, where shall I go? Mingle with the locals? Calm drunken tempers? How about this one? Ah, why? Continue. Ow. Jeez. I will prepare the mingle with the locals and then do it at some point. But we have to sleep to recover our actions. So we have a new place to stay? The sanctuary? Yeah. Let's go ahead. Troubled sleep. You sleep fitfully, haunted by nightmares. You wake in a cold sweat. As you rub the sleep from your eyes, your stomach rumbles. Ah, look at that. Gosh, what a hungry hippo. After a fitful sleep, you come to and roll off your pallet. You hit the floorboards and jar your hip. For a second, there is nothing in the world but your ragged breathing, gently slowing. At the front, the only thing that soothed your stress was solace, a drug that quiets the mind like a warm bath. You consider a new aim to find a solace dealer. Red check hurries in. Foundling, you all right? Is back at the front. The tanks, the harvesters. He leans his staff against the wall and helps you up. War comes with a cost. Those who die and are taken to the Father's bosom, they are the lucky ones. The Father is one of the 5 gods, just but stern. We're haunted by what we've seen. You don't know what you're talking about. This isn't a test, brother, it's just suffering. He sighs. I have seen men and women spat out by this war. Often they are broken. When they're lucky, sleep brings the ladies peace, but more often than not, there are only night terrors. Will I ever be free of them? He smiles sadly. With the lady's blessing? With a pang, you realize he's given you false hope. Each time you sleep, you will have good, bad, or terrible sleep due to your nightmares. This will raise or lower your stress. Anyways, I just came to look in on you. There's other lost sheep I've to tend. But I have a gift. He reaches into his cloak and pulls out a crutch. A body should have 2 legs in Dredgeport, even if one's made of wood. Thank you. Now, about your situation, he sobers a little. Look, you're welcome to stay here as long as you can, but don't get your hopes up. Why not? I've had people come back from the war before. The recruiters have mountains of paperwork on their side. If you escaped, they're going to track you down. You consider a new aim to avoid the draft. I had the same thoughts. Any advice? He scratches his temple thoughtfully. Honestly, it's a shame we can't just talk to the little father. He's a good man. A term of affection for the Emperor. Then why is he fighting this horrible war? Then why is he turning dead soldiers into plasm? If you say so, brother. Why is he fighting this horrible war? What would the world come to if we left the Orions unchecked? This war is a terrible trial, but we must listen to the father's plan. You look into Ratchek's smiling face and see unassailable faith. Now you're rested and fed and out of my hands. Go about your business. Do you know of any work? You might explore the Crucible. That's the industrial district south of here. There's factories that might be hiring. May the father protect you. He ducks into the street. The Crucible. I guess go here. Explore the factories. Prepare and act. Yeah, you wander a maze of clanking metal and industrial madness. Chaos. I will push myself. Mixed outcome. The district is a mountain of clanking metal, confusing at first but has its own logic. New location discovered. The factory. We can go there now. Investigate the factory. We'll just act. You watch the factory. Continue. You watch the factory from afar. Shifts end, workers come and go. After a while, one approaches and nods to you. Name's Henry. I couldn't help noticing you looking over our little community. Community? This is a factory. What do you make here? Nice ink. You taking on workers? Nice ink. You study his tattoos, bluebirds in flight, cascading across his arms. He smiles, glancing at them. Yeah, they are. Do they mean something? Yep. Are you going to tell me? Nope. His smile becomes strained. Community? This is the factory. What do you make here? Artillery for the war. What sort of artillery? The kind that kills people? But since you ask, D-135 range guns. They can knock out a bunker from 3 miles away. Or so they tell us. I've never seen one in action. Are you taking on workers? I'm looking for work. You'd need to ask the foreman, friend. The man's a stickler. The last thing he wants is to cut into the boss's margins. But if you manage it, look me up. I'll show you the ropes. Consider a new aim to find allies at the factory. Now he seems nice. Ask for work. Prepare? Yes. As stress rises, more and more of your die faces become broken. A broken face has a value of 0. We have to reduce stress. Okay. So, we do need to eat. So what I'll do is I'll head to the tavern and I'll order food. Passable and nourishing. Yeah, we got it. We should be able to sleep better tonight, I hope. Around plaza. This intersection forms a large circular plaza. A round platform rises in the center, surrounded by strange metal stands. Examine the platform. Examine the stands. Examine the platform. The platform rises to chest height and is made of concrete. That means it was placed here in the last 10 years or so. A ladder allows access to the top. Climb the ladder. As you put a foot on the ladder, a workman hurries up to you. What are you doing, woman? Are you mad? What is this thing? Just leave well enough alone. Suddenly you hear a commotion. A trio of soldiers approach from the other side of the square, dragging 2 women with them. We've done no wrong. One of the soldiers, an officer, barges past you and steps up onto the platform. Citizens, you'll be glad to hear we have apprehended 2 Orion agents. It's not true. The soldiers wrestle her into one of the metal stands, a pillory. They were caught stealing rations from the arsenal. They have been found guilty of sabotaging the war effort and espionage. They will remain here for 3 days. It is an act of treason to offer them food or water. He glares at the crowd. I will post guards here to ensure there are no more traitors in our midst. In the stockade, the women struggle feebly, then lie still. Gosh. Okay. What other nighttime shenanigans can we get up to here? The sanctuary. Take solace. This will reduce stress to 0, but each time you take solace, it becomes a little less effective. So this is my stress. I guess I could let it get up a little bit more, but I need to be very careful. I'll enter the prize fight. Mixed outcome. Okay, so my health has reduced a little, but I got a whopping 7 from that. Okay, yeah. That was worth it, honestly, because that'll get me... I mean, unless I get robbed or something, that'll be good. Now, any way to get other types of items around here? Is it daytime? I'm confused. What time of day is it? I think I have 2 more actions tonight. Don't steal any tools. The Crucible. Explore the streets. Prepare and act. Mixed outcome. This district is a jumble of metal, sparks, and soot. Locations discovered. Clock ticked. Exploring. Continue. Witch's Crossing. I'll go there now. Buy a West Pass for 30. That's a lot of money. That's a ton of money, actually. But yeah, I would like to go to Witch's Crossing. See what that's like. Tavern. The drunks get out of hand sometimes, but a kind word can de-escalate things. So, mingle with the locals. Let's just mingle with the locals, I guess. Mixed outcome. What did we get? Rumor. You possess 0. A jumble of words jealously guarded. It glitters all the more for being in darkness. Can be sold at the drug den or converted into a tip-off at the arc light. You befriend a tradesman nursing his beer. You learn about his trade and something odd he saw 2 days back. Continue. So, I now have +1 rumor. And I am sleepy. So, I'm gonna go ahead and head to the sanctuary and go to sleep. Ooh, nightmares. See, we're in trouble. As you rub the sleep from your eyes, your stomach rumbles. Somebody is coming. When you're awake, you find a note on the shabby dresser. Foundling. I must run an errand. Find me at the arc light. An address is scrawled at the bottom. Hey, the arc light. So, let's see here. I'm going to take a look at all the various UI elements. We have survive, gain power, avoid the draft, find a solid dealer, find allies at the factory. Lots of different goals, a lot of non-linearity, which is very nice. Skills, I take it that we'll eventually be able to work on these skills, but for now, we're doing good at sway and intuit. And then the other ones are just kind of average. None of them are particularly bad. It auto-saves every so often, so save scumming seems like it's not going to be a thing at all. It seems like I'm going to have to... I don't know. I don't know what happens when this reaches the max, right? I mean, it says if stress reaches a threshold, 1 die face will be broken. That sounds very bad. That sounds like something we want to avoid at any cost. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I kind of feel like the best thing to do is to take solace at this juncture, because it's like, what if I end up getting 2 skulls at some point, right? It could happen. So I'll go ahead and take solace. Hello? Oh, it costs something. 1 solace. Ooh, we need to get solace. Oh no. Wandering the slums, you come across the beggar who picked your pocket. They are surrounded by a handful of animals. 2 pigeons peck around their feet. A mouse sits on their shoulder. Another peeks out of the pocket of their shirt. 2 large rats curl around their feet like cats. The beggar nods as you approach. I hope you've had good fishing since we last saw each other. You consider a new aim to befriend the beggars. The animals around the beggar's feet move a little closer. They eye you cautiously. Who are your friends? These are Agnes and Fred. They gesture toward the pigeons. And this is Pillowig on my shoulder. Pillowig ruffles his nose. Suddenly, the urchin vaults up off the wall and sticks their hand out. The pigeons dart out the way, but quickly resume their shuffling. I'm Frey. They grin. I'm Kitamari. Glad to know you, Kitamari. They nod. Well, I'd love to get to know you, but there's a patch on Worcester that's good this time of day. Worcester? Worcester. With a whistle, they summon their tiny flock and saunter into the streets. Continue. I think we're on good terms, so hopefully... I was afraid. I was like, oh my gosh, I was 7 in here. I hope he doesn't do it again. Plague Pillar. You come across a great pillar, twisting with clouds and angels. Read the plaque. The plaque says it was erected to commemorate the Great Plague of 1567 and to thank the father and the lady for sparing the entire town. Touch the plaque. You reach out to touch the plaque. It's cool. The metal isn't gold as it first seems, but brass with gold leaf. A blue-coat officer glares at you from the end of the street. You pull back. Study the statues. The father and lady are depicted as towering figures holding hands. The lady holds a chalice and pours her healing waters upon a mass of suffering citizens below. The father holds aloft a torch, cleansing the air. The 2 of them are wreathed in clouds, supposed to symbolize their heavenly powers. To you, it looks more like miasma, the smoke and smell of sickness. You notice the scavengers depicted at the foot of the 2 other gods, in the form of a raven. It is picking through the corpses of the dead. The scavenger is one of the 5 gods, helping beggars and the lost to survive when all seems hopeless. You leave the pillar and walk into the crowds. That's interesting. That is just for the sake of the story, those little moments. Like there's another one right here, the street forge. You pass by a street forge, an artist who works with iron. Occasionally, a passerby asks for their services. The street smith smiles, studies their profile for a few moments, then yanks a piece of scrap iron from their stock with a pair of forging tongs and lunges at the bellows. Lunges. Soon the forge is at a roaring heat. They plunge the iron into its heart until it glows orange. Then they tug it out and begin working it with a hammer. Back and forth it goes, a little shapelier each time. In minutes, the piece is finished. The smith dunks it into their water bucket. He presents the customer with a caricatured likeness of their own profile, rendered in black iron for a few groats. You spot Ridgek. The arc light, once you find it, is a bar occupying a massive drum-shaped building. Heading inside, you find Ridgek talking to the bar woman. He nods as you approach. Foundling, this is Zai, mistress of the arc light and a witch with a wrench. If ever you need a device or a bit of clockwork, she's the body to ask. You consider a new aim to acquire a device. Zai, this is my foundling. Zai is a towering woman. She looks more engineer than bartender, so she's Zai, okay. I always assumed that this was the main character of the game because of, I don't know, usually seeing art, I assume it's the main character, but yeah, this is Zai. Outsider? Her eyes narrow. Oh, come, woman. Is that any way to greet a new friend? Your friend, not mine. But she does reluctantly extend her hand for you to shake. Shake. As you shake her hand, your fingers close around cold metal. You look down. Zai's hand is an incredible device of steel and brass. My own work? She smirks. You see why I wanted you to meet? She nods toward your crutch. I see you've joined our ranks. My condolences. I was hoping that you and your maverick friends might help with that. She bristles. We're not crazy, brother. We just keep to ourselves. Ah. For 6 seconds, neither says anything. Finally, Ridgek clears his throat. How many times have I come through for you, Zai? I'm sick of your posturing, priest, she growls, but you have come through for us. She fixes you with a stern stare. I can build you something to help. You won't walk quite like you did, but it's a lot better than hobbling around. Thank you. I keep looking down and expecting. She shocks you by touching your warm hand with her metal one. Happens to the best of us. You consider a new aim to befriend Zai. She studies Ridgek before answering. Since it's the Watcher who's asking, there's no cost, but this pays our debt, all right? Fine by me. But I'll need material. Haul me some scrap, and I'll see what I can make of it. She glares at Ridgek. I want you to leave now, outsider. I need a word with the priest. Leave, but listen by the door. Yeah, I don't know. I have a feeling that I want to know what's happening with these two, especially if I am tasked with having to protect one from the other or something like that. You head through the door, but loiter just outside. An outsider. The racket of the crucible drowns out the conversation. After a while, it subsides and you hear Ridgek. I, an outsider once. You still are, you crazy bastard. What is the deal with that? Why would he... I mean, I guess he... she owes him, and this is the payment, and it's like, why would he do so much for us? That's interesting. The Arclight. Supply scrap. It costs 3, and I have 0 of scrap. You're not sure how Zai can turn this tangle of iron into a new foot, but it's worth trying, so that's another thing to try to collect. And, let me see. Market. Buy spirits. You head to a spirit stall you passed before, the one with good prices. You can eavesdrop. See, I want to take solace, but... Buy scrap. Oh, here we go. I mean, this is something that I want to do, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. There are a lot of options. There are a lot of possibilities. We can arm wrestle for money. You know what? I'm going to prepare, and I'm going to arm wrestle. Mixed outcome. We got 3. You lose a few bouts, but win it back with a little more. Continue. Now we have 8. Okay, so we have 1 extra coin. That's not much. Maybe I can apply for a job now down at the factory? Demonstrate your strength. Ooh. Perhaps a show of grit and endurance will do what words cannot. Actually, we already prepared for ask for work, so let's try that. Mixed outcome. I'm convinced. When he shakes your hand, his grip is like an iron chain. Let's see what you're made of. Continue. As you join the lineup, Henry waves. You made it. Nice job. I didn't introduce myself properly. Henry Okoye. He sticks out his hand. Kitamari. You shake, avoiding the lifting tool strapped to his arm. Behind him, workers stumble home. Two approach him arm in arm. You are a new worker? She scowls. I just joined. The shorter woman turns to her. You can't help noticing scars spread across her cheek and neck like cobwebs. Leave her alone, pet. You've just had a day. The taller woman snorts. Kitamari, this is Nazrin and Ruby. He smiles. They're very dear to me. How did you all meet? Nazrin and I were on the same shift. Not so many black workers back then. We found much in common. And Ruby? Joined the factory when I were 13, a lifetime ago. Got hurt one day. With a flick of her head, she turns her facial burns away from you. Nazrin here nursed me back, took a shine to me. Ruby smiles shyly. Nazrin touches Ruby's face, nudging a loose strand of hair. A big shine. Are you together? He nods simply. Yes, us three. That sounds nice. Like the sun rising over icy mountains, a smile spreads over Nazrin's face. Yes, she whispers. Nice. So Kitamari here just joined the factory, girls. What do you think? Is she up to it? Ruby smiles. We'll give anyone a chance, won't we, love? Nazrin frowns. What's the shift schedule? Nazrin, you have something to say? What's management like? What's the shift schedule? There aren't no fixed hours. With workers getting drafted, every factory is a shambles. They won't notice if you miss your shift. Most of us work all through the day, though. We need the groats. Nazrin, you have something to say? Her face softens. Is that concern? This difficult work. Dangerous. Look at Ruby's face. Please, pet. The woman needs warning. Aziza? A term of affection meaning beloved. Sorry. Watch. Nazrin moves to a nearby machine and twists a lever. A valve snaps open like a jack-in-the-box. Boiling steam bursts out. Ruby flinches and traces her neck. She gained this scar at age 19, but she must wear it rest of her life. Be cautious and have caution for your neighbor. Here to work. I'll watch my own back. Thank you. I'll watch out for everyone. I'll be careful. I'll watch out for everyone. Good, she nods. What's management like? Bosses, she snorts. The pay is all right, but it's not enough for what we do. What we risk. This must change. The whistle blows. Well, we should be heading back. Nice to meet you, Kitamari. She waves. See you on the line. So, I have work buddies now. And, yeah, I'd say that, I mean, I'm quite terrified about what might happen because of all this, but, I'd say it's going okay. I feel, though, that at any moment, things could really, really go wrong. Let me explore the streets of the Crucible. Next outcome. The district is a jumble of metal, sparks, and soot. Clock ticking, exploring, locations discovered, continue. What did I get? Workshop. We can go there now. Gather scrap. We can now gather scrap. This seems like it's going to be a big deal. It's nighttime. I'm keeping going a little bit. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, you cut yourself on a jagged edge of metal. It takes you a while to bind the wound. Continue. Yeah. Investigate the workshop. This place looks a cut above the engineering yards of the rest of the district. Half-finished machines hang from creaking cranes. You take in the scene. Focused apprentices, expressive craftsmen, and the chatter that escapes when they take a break. Rumor. We now have another rumor, too. We have 2 rumors, apparently. You are exhausted. Sleep to recover actions. Curious, you walk through the red brick gates and into a broad courtyard. The air is filled with the sound and spark of metal and the smell of white-hot iron. Engineers move to and fro, wearing leather jackets, belts, welding goggles, oversized gloves. One man rushes past and nearly bumps into you, carrying some complicated device. An older woman calls after him. Alfie, for Smith's sake, don't run. You'll get yourself killed. His eyes settle on you. Some of them got overexcited. You knew? What is this place? First time. There we go. Well, anyone's welcome as long as you bring your own tools. She smirks. And someone's got to show you the ropes, so don't end up like me. She raises one spindly arm. You see she's missing 4 fingers on one hand. The risks of a self-taught engineer. 2 right. So just get those tools and we'll make sure you don't make the same mistakes. Hey, I made more friends even. This requires tools. So I'd have to get tools from somewhere. Okay. And day 5, you are exhausted, sleep to replenish. What is this? A pale blue glow. Wandering the streets, you find yourself drawn to the river and a blue glow on the horizon. As you draw closer, you realize these are the plasm yards. Uh-oh. Your throat goes tight. You stumble. You force air into your lungs and stumble against the wall. For moments or hours, there is only the wall and your breath and the crackle of plasm in the distance. Easy there, foundling. Where did you come from? You've been choking there for a moment or two. You didn't notice me? You shake your head. He tuts. You almost entered the towers, oh how? No one can face that and stay whole. He gestures to the industrial landscape before you. The yards, where the bodies of the dead become fuel for the living. The city's beating heart. True, this plasm is the lifeblood of the Empire. The brother gathers himself and struts forward. Foundling, listen, this place broke you. You'll have to face it again if you're to heal. He nods to the guard on duty and passes over a pouch of money. The guard opens the gate. As you walk through, the man claps a hand on your shoulder. Don't get any ideas. I'm only doing this because the Watcher sat with my daughter when she lay dying. This gate don't open for just anyone. Watcher, a follower of the lady, holy men, or religious healers. Face the intake ramp. Bodies are dumped into the chute and slide down into a great vat. This is where you barely survived. Approach the lightning tower. Inside this sparking tower, plasmic energies are unleashed on the massive bodies. The science is not fully understood. Study the storage tanks made of steel and glass. These tanks glow eerily. The oil within drifts as if animated by some internal breeze. There's definitely a lot going on in the plasma yards, too. I need to pay attention always to the little bits that stand out more, because I might have missed other scenes, too, that you just kind of have to pull things out to get to. There are a lot of places that we'll eventually get to go to. I mean, the estate district, I wonder what all is there. But most of all, I'm a bit terrified about this stress bar and kind of what is fated to happen because of that. Troubled sleep. You sleep fitfully, haunted by nightmares. You wake in a cold sweat. Okay, there we go. Oh gosh. You rub the sleep from your eyes. Your stomach rumbles. Ever hungry this character is. Okay, so it's saving. Now, I'm going to stop here. When I get back, I'm going to go to the chapel and the debris shrine, and then, of course, decide what actions I'm going to take. This game is great. I would say, though, that, like, when I think of Citizen Sleeper, for example, there were some sensational things that happened pretty early on, I would say. But it's also a game that grew into becoming sort of the best that it could be. And the best that it was. I mean, I really like Citizen Sleeper. And this one, I feel that I can't really speak on it until I played a lot more of it. Like, there's probably a lot more to the story. There's definitely a lot more to see, a lot more places to go to. I like that there's a visual way to see just how much content is there that has not, that I have not really explored. And I'm curious about the characters and how much depth there will be to the characters and all the ways forward. I'm glad that the gameplay is quite approachable and that it looks like I have made some decent progress, even though this worries me again, the stress. So yeah, taking solace at the lodgings. So yeah, I have to figure out how to get that in order to move forward, essentially, and hope that, it doesn't go too badly. Since this game does have this autosave thing, it's possible I wouldn't be able to save scum, but if I could, I would. Like, just in case there was some way to kind of squeak by. But anyway, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for watching. Duskpunk is out now. It's on Steam. I will have a link in the description. Check this game out if you're interested. Add it to your wish list, what have you. And I'll see you later. Bye.